viewers of Sounding Board, and tonight we're going to talk about the LJN figure. I have one of the second version of their bodies. These were made during the string era of Megos, I think. But they all have the string in there just like the old Megos. And they have molded underwear. The first versions of these tend to have hands that are on plugs. Hands and feet. So they had a ball joint to them. You know, the early stages of that thinking where the figure needs more mobility. And so even their chest designs are slightly different. And then in the second version, you see how the arm is? It just goes up to here. These guys now have more of a Mego-like arm. And it also has the swerve, like the old G.I. Joe. And they have the pin here. So you can now do this easier. And they have metal prongs, just like in the leg steel, just like the old Mego. And you can see the big difference in the feet too. Oh wow, I think my guy's feet are back. No, they're right. But even how the guy's body is strung up and stands is very different. Because he's shorter than a normal Mego. As where Roy here from Emergency actually stands taller and unhunched, unlike this guy. And you can see the difference in the body structure as well. They changed the chest. They redesigned the leg, upper leg, the thigh area, and the lower area to support a pin. The hands now plug, and they have pins. The arms are pins instead of metal pins with little ball joints where they kept falling off. And I think it was due to the fact that they started including SWAT into their line, because this here's a rookie. This is Terry. That's Roy DeSoto. And they started coming out with playsets for these guys. And they could only hold their weapons in one hand. And a lot of kids want, how do you put it, the ability to play with their characters more realistically outside or indoors as they go on missions to stop bad guys or climb ladders like firefighters. You know, because LJN made three basically lines. They had SWAT, their spin-off series, The Rookies, or it's the other way around, vice versa, and then Emergency. All these lines were after the intervention of Mego. And here's what the Mego body looks like, predating the number 2 version of the body, which is basically used by Heroes Toy Company. You know, it's a plug head. He had no underwear. And he has the metal pins. He had, you know, the legs going up. And I got the werewolf out to show you that the first version of a Mego leg was plugs. It plugged into here and here. But the child would pop the legs off. So then they switched to the metal pins. And they even had, if you notice, the whole ball joint with the graft to it right here in the hips. And they also had, did they have it in the arm joint? No. You know, and they still had it here on the second version. They just changed the pins and how the pins were put on. Because the hands, the feet, and the elbows and everything were all put on plugs from one joint to the other. Kind of like a puzzle. And so they all had their own style to them. They all had their own novelty to them too. I just got Terry in the mail this week, and I thought, man, wow, hell, I might as well do something about LJN. Maybe because they don't have their costumes, except for Roy has most of his. Maybe do a comparison of the body types and show you how each company had their own look to it. Because here's Roy's pants, his shirt. I wish I had his jacket. But I think he's the brown jacket version, and he even has firefighter replica rubber boots. And he would be dressed in a one-piece jumpsuit, or as a two-piece, but it's all blue outfit with a SWAT vest and hat, and then a gun. And then the rookies were in a standard blue police officer outfit. But, and this is the astronaut from the Planet of the Apes, and we all know the Mad Monster's werewolf, but that's all I had that didn't have clothing. And he was a mutation. He was actually one that has two different types of legs. So it was good to show you this and this, because the only other version I have is a Action Jackson, but I don't know how to take his belt off without it snapping. And he's missing a foot, and I just need to find a foot somewhere on eBay for him to replace it. But yeah, I'll show you. It's like they had this swerve joint here, so like I said, so they can hold stuff. They had Mego-like hands now. Their clothing was very, very constructed, very like a Mego. So you could play the Adventures of Emergency. I'm surprised they never cashed in on Dragnet. But then too, I think LJN was gone by then too. Because Mego got all the cool sci-fi. And other than Emergency, the other two toy lines were actually Aaron Spelling shows. And SWAT was developed by the creator of T.J. Hooker, which I just found out, which is surprising, Rick Husky. So I might have to get that to take a look at, because I enjoy T.J. Hooker. Okay, where's the button? Oh, he doesn't have a button. It's lost. That's why he had a rubber band around his waist. To keep his pants in place. Oh, that's old now. We'll just put this old clear one on him. Rubber bands were always great for Megos to hold their pants up back in the day. Before if you learned how to repair them. Only trade-off is the rubber band tend to get stuck in their hips. That's why I didn't use it on the old string ones, because the strings don't have the ability like the second gen of a ball within the waist like the Mego does to keep them in place. So let's just put Roy back in his costume, or what's left of it, because I still need to get him a jacket, and then find another button for it. Basically remove it from another costume, because that's the only way you can get a button that size. And the funny part is they all had these kind of high water like pants. Might be easier just to order some blue pants from a figure toy company who put on Roy. But there's what Roy looks like dressed. All he's missing is his jacket, and there's two versions of these guys. There was a blue jacket version, and then there's a brown jacket. And then the astronaut from the Planet of the Apes his costume is totally toast. I just keep it for nostalgia's sake. It shows you what the love of an action figure was, or the costume was on another figure that I love playing with even more. But what do you think? Do you think the LJN guys were pretty cool looking? Do you think, or are you just a mega purist and never watch shows like Emergency, The Rookies, or SWAT? Funny part is, the SWAT guys actually have a decent looking Robert Urich kid. I'm not too sure on Terry who he is, who the actor is, but this is Roy, and this is John Locke's dad actually, which is kind of funny. That I've even got John Locke, and he's actually in the EMC bodies. Actually use the LJN arms and legs, and then they use a replica of like a Mega body. But that's enough for now. So let me know what you think of these guys. If you have a collection or you think they're kind of cool. But yeah, thanks for joining in. This is the Sounding Board signing off.